super familiar with, so don't want to necessarily say one thing or another about those. What I will say is that moving towards maybe a little bit further into the past, YFP yesterday, I watched them play in the Valorant Training Grounds series, and they lost to Down to Earth, a pretty solid team. And then Vision, they didn't play last week, but in week 42, they lost in the round of 16 of the playoffs to Trade Like Pros. They did beat out the X-Fun Snatchers guys, though, which is a pretty solid team in their own right. And so with that, where else could we be going, Keg, but Ascent? It is our home here at the VCS Sunday Showdown.
Hey, at the very least, if there was any doubts that we didn't know how Ascent works, at least we can get our reps in at this point. It's like going to the gym for our brains and for our mouths.
I mean, I feel like that doesn't necessarily track all the way, but we'll roll with it. I mean, my brain might explode with the amount of Ascent that we've seen, but nonetheless, still an enjoyable map to watch and watch how teams deal with certain things, especially because I think this could be a pretty interesting matchup, especially YFP. They made it to playoffs in week 42 as well, by the way, but they lost immediately to Ambu Ops, a team that's kind of on the rise recently. I feel like that's a fair statement to say. Either way, we are getting straight into it. Killjoys for both sides, though Arena here for YFP, whereas Phoenix has been the decided course of action for Vision. So we'll be on the lookout to see how that affects things and if the Phoenix versus Arena duel, who wins that one out.
Well, if it's anything like the last Ascent matchup we saw, Ben, I really hope we get to see more Jet action.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Definitely.
But this pistol round's going a little bit slower than we've seen in the past here. Each team taking their sweet time, trying to feel each other out, and it seems like maybe going to A main may be the course of work, but look at the shock arrow already ready for that first initial skirmish. Always looking for his assignment. He's gonna have to unleash that arrow at some point, but there we go, the whole concave, everybody coming towards A main, and it's really just Hilton and others waiting around the corner. Double shock arrow's gonna go down, not gonna take a whole lot of damage, but the mollies are gonna try to stifle it away into a rotate.
Well, I mean, not a whole lot of damage generally, but Apex did take the brunt of both of those shock darts. So it's down at 13 health. Charisma has traded some shots. I just think with the bot there from Flew, and well, that is going to be the win with the help of the shots from the pistol for the Killjoy. So push comes through. It's going to be in. That's the jet dash to try and clear anything out. Yum with a frag onto Val. Now opens up the site in a solid position inside the, well, entrance to CT. One waiting, but Endure going to be able to pick up a frag. So it's 4-on-3 here. Now with the retake, it's coming in quickly. And Empathy, Fly, both picking up one apiece as it's Kyrus who's left in a, well, impossible 1-on-4. And is it Flya? Flya. That makes a lot more sense. I don't know what I was saying before. Picks up the triple.
You like the name Suya from the last matchup. I love Flya. That sounds awesome. It's like a Pokemon.
it really is, isn't it?
It's like that was what was supposed to evolve into Yanima? Yanima?
We'll go with that. I don't know how to pronounce it.
whatever turns into Flygon. Or what Flygon gets turned, you know what I mean.
We're gonna get absolutely murdered by the Pokemon people in the chat right now.
Yeah.
What have you done?
My bad. But look at here, the spike already on the ground towards A and also a little bit of mid as well. The Omen does push up a little bit towards Catwalk, but so does the Jet. Empathy hiding away only in the enemy smokes. Might be able to get away with something here, but it's up to Charisma though to get the shot first, but Empathy gets it instead. Now, with that being said, one attacker already down. It's going to be the Sentinel utility completely lost. Empathy needs to back off now, or they might have a pretty bad time. Or not. No, they always win the gunshots, it seems. And the Omen's going to fall next. That's a double kill now in their favor, but it's going to be left to the Spike having to rotate anyways towards Cat, and they're still going to try to continue on and take on this single Jet. Of course, meanwhile, the battlefield elsewhere as well as everyone on the attack is melting away.
Very solid there. Second round, Vision picking up all the frags, not even losing a single player, barely taking a point of damage, in fact, on anyone. So really great stuff. YFP now have the weaponry out. They chose to play it a little bit safer in the second round, not investing too heavily. So it's rifles across the board. The Phantoms, the Vandals, both out and ready to go. We do see the bonus round here So not ideal weapons. 3 SMGs, the Ares, a Bucky here for Vision, but you know that can still be a very solid setup.
Oh, but the Flash is already going down, stalling out the majority of YFP, trying to push their way onto B main, but even then, the smokes galore. Is it going to be enough? Ripped open like a can of cat food for Mr. Whiskers to gobble up. Chris already on B main. It's going to be one left alive go onto the site, but the flank from behind, everything comes in through. But what about on B site? Andor already falls, but wow says wow instead. And is able to take out so many different bodies. That's only going to leave the Jet alive, though, and it doesn't last much longer.
That was exactly what you wanted to see in that position. Pretty much the linchpin. That's the word I was looking for of that round. Able to bring back that what looked like a pretty rough position. So that being said, Vision, they have plenty of cash available. They've got the rifles back out, and so this is now the first real gun round of the half. And so I'm gonna be on the lookout here. I want to see if YFP make any adjustments, because that sort of push, that sort of rush certainly works against not ideal weaponry, but it's a lot harder to make work when Vision have the full rifles on board.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of the first rounds too where we actually get to see both teams really play around the higher caliber artillery. Of course, with that being said, we're starting things off with a more simple Sova drone, trying to spot out the enemies as the smokes go down. And yes, he is able to find one. The sprays try to go through. Not going to find a whole lot in the beginning, but has a pretty generalized idea of where YFP want to at least initially push.
That is indeed the case. Some information. That's the real game here, as it is a couple of tags for the defenders onto YFP, but nobody dead just yet. And that's going to stay that way as Mazza just looks to clear out some of these angles, get some information, and now Kyrie, first blood, picking up Empathy over towards the A side. That was on Catwalk, my apologies, and that starts to pull the rotations, making things a little bit more difficult right now for Vision on the defense. They got the information. Paranoia comes out. It's a double kill for Endor, who picks up both of those. Val as well, who threw that Paranoia, able to chime in with just one, as YFP are now in a tough spot. 2 on 4.
Creeping, crawling to the B site, though. It's gonna be Charisma and what is left of the Omen to get the plant down. There's still 4 left alive on Vision's side, and now they're rotate, they can do essentially whatever they want. They want to push on forwards, it's good. They don't want to push as fast, that's fine too. But they have to beat out the spike timer. That's the only important thing. They have a limited amount of time, but it doesn't matter as Raya is able to find one, but it's not going to be enough. There's still one more to deal with. But no, it doesn't last very much longer either. Flya finds it.
I mean, that's just beautiful stuff. That's exactly what you want to see. And honestly, I think that the crux there was that the Omen needed to find something more for YFP. Just not able to really pick anything up. It was, in the corner, sure. Yum had very low HP, but needed to at least get one or be a threat in the side of Vision, so that they had to play things a bit more passively, but that just didn't quite happen. And so now it's going to be the same. Back to pistols right now for YFP. They are not able to really stabilize off the back of that first round. And like I said, things get a little bit harder once the full weaponry comes out for Vision.
I wish the same could be said for YFP side, but at most we see a Bulldog coming out here. That's not a great start, but at the very least, Chris does have their knives. If they can make this work, that could be fantastic, but already Chris is able to find Empathy. That's one to go down. The knives finding the other Jet, skewing her heart alive, turning that Sova almost into a kebab, but Elton gets the kill instead. Now, ducking away, knowing full well where the push is going to come from. Had the help from the friends and family to come through, and Barrel's able to find a double. But is that going to be enough? The answer is going to be yes, at least for now, but these last 2 attackers are trying to play a stealth mission. Stealth has not worked out too well for them, though. Enemy detected, Charisma's going to fall. That's only going to leave Apex, the last one alive. Now, no spike in hand, it's on the wrong side. A 1v4. Things are going to be all but terrible on the outside of Giraffe. These toys might not be for us right now, but it's up to Apex now, trying to find this final hit. He's able to find one, but there's still 3 more to worry about. Shock darts are going to go through, but able to use the Empress to get through on time, get away without any damage. 3 left alive still. Apex having to push on forwards on the left stairs. Has no enemies in sight because they all have the spike. They don't have to push this Reyna whatsoever. Already proven to be ferocious and dangerous. Vin, I think it's all but over.
Certainly feels that way. 34 HP in a dream there for Apex. Does have one potential at a Devour, so could potentially recover this HP if he's able to get a kill, but not probably going to be expecting Hilton in the corner. Indeed, does not. So the frag there, and it's a Vision considerably stronger in these first opening rounds. The first 5 of them, in fact, 4 of those divisions. So YFP back on to the cash flow. Need to step things up. Need to make an adjustment, and certainly need to find a route.
Yeah, and we're seeing this kind of leeway coming out again for whoever's first on defense. Last time we saw Down Bad versus Virtuoso, Vin, we saw the same exact thing happen, where each defensive side just kind of stole it away in the first half, and then whoever was on defense in the second half didn't quite have the same benefit.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult, right? Trying to make those adjustments mid-game whenever something's not working out for you. But right now, we're seeing something a bit more slow, methodical here for YFP. Don't want to get too aggressive. Don't want to give anything away. And I think that's exactly what they needed to do. Granted, you can see the aggression. You can see where the Jet is pushed up to here for the defense. They have a lot of info. Now, they can pretty much just sit here, Empathy, able to walk away whenever and get aggressive whenever. There's 3 players approaching this side of the map. One of those with the spike. If you want to get away, does just that. Able to use that dash effectively, and that's just what I was looking for. Vision in prime position.
Hook, line, and sinker. Empathy, the fisherman of the game so far, able to find that Reyna to start things off, has been a fantastic showing. One of the 2 duelists for YFP already gone now, going over towards the concave and the caravan coming towards A site. It looks like B didn't quite work out the way they had hoped. Turret's still going to be downwards on B main, but that's going to be some utility lost. But now the rotates are coming through on full forces going onto A side. Look at Yum now, possibly bringing out some shadows, maybe able to block off doorway, but that has to be a very aggressive Jet right now to really take advantage of this and get their way onto the site. And there we go, exactly as that happens. It's going to be the rest holding into heaven right now. It's going to be up to Chris the push, but even then, not able to find the shots. Shock Darts instead might be able to find some luck, but the double killjoy lockdown comes through. Only one of these guys can survive the Venn diagram. It's going to be quite a huge endeavor now, but we see them always coming on through. Everywhere's a death trap, and the Hunter's Fury might make it even worse. Look at Mazda now, though, Vin, holding down the fort as long as they can. Not a single player detained. Oh, excuse me, no, one was detained, but even then, will it make a difference? But the kill feeds go through. It's going to be an absolute pinwheel. Only 2 left alive. Big now 1 for YFP, but Yum holding things down as much as they can. Has to go into certain depth and maybe try to stall up the defuse, and he's able to do so momentarily.
Well, but not able to do much more. And I mean, you said didn't get anything with the lockdown, but it was actually Flya who got 3 locked down there in the tight corridor at the end of A. So I don't think that I think that was probably the issue, right, for YFP. They tried to get aggressive, and so they got punished with the lockdown. And so Vision just rotated 2 players all the way around to shoot them in the back of the head as soon as that lockdown initiated. So with all of that said, this has just been super strong, super solid for Vision. Doing exactly what you were talking about, getting those opening picks, making the difference here. As now this push comes through, it looks like a desperation purchase for the time being for YFP, but it has certainly been effective at getting them onto the site. But oh no! Flya, 2 frags with the utility, 1 to follow up with the rifle, and Val chimes in for a 4th. It's just Kyrus left in a 1-on-5, now 4, but it's still going to be the Sonar arrow, or rather the dart, going to be making things difficult, and it's just 2 as Hilton closes things up. That killjoy, I mean, Flya has been just incredible here with that utility usage and the frags as well.
Absolutely disheartening coming out from the side of YFP. The double molly coming out from the side of Highway on B main. There's just nothing you can do once you're in the middle of it. It is an instant death trap. And then we also saw Chris making their way over onto Bow House. They were stranded. They couldn't do anything to help their teammates. All they could do was watch them die. But that left Vision in such a great opportunity here. There's only a few more seconds before we get into the next round here, but already we're seeing such a dominant first half, and we do have mostly full artillery coming out from most of the sides, except for Apex only running a Sheriff, but this broken buy-in might be a big issue going towards the end of the round.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think it probably is a bit of an issue, especially the fact, like, no operator, right? And we've seen how effective Empathy has been with that operator. Is sitting ready and willing to go over here towards the A site. Gonna miss that shot onto the drone, so that does force Empathy back, making things a bit more difficult as well. So a little bit of information gained there for YFP, maybe coming away a bit fortunate that Empathy missed that shot, but now is just sitting and is committed to this angle. That's, I mean, that's incredible here for Empathy, just to continue holding that regardless of the fact that the information was gained.
Sometimes when you have an op, you have to have the most audacity out of anybody in the game. The Hunter's Fury is, of course, going to help a little bit too. But look at Maza and the other Jet, the Ditto side, the mirror reverse of the team that looks so well composed on side of Heaven. This is a tough situation to be in still. And we're not even mentioning the Reyna with having only a Sheriff. There are some ults on their side, but it's so slow that it just gives plenty of time for Vision to rotate any which way that they want and potentially find the intel against them.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 players already here. One more in the Sova rotating towards mid, so has the fast rotate. And so now, I mean, like, what do you do, right? You're just going to have to win out some gunfights, and here it comes. This is exactly what you wanted to see, pushing things off, some smokes to blind the opponents, and now the running back comes in. Jor needs to pick something up, knows where the rain is, but well shot there for Apex. Picks up second as well as Flya goes down. It's just chaos everywhere as the Killjoy utility comes back through with the ultimate, the lockdown. Going to be able to pick up 2 players. Oh no, devastating for YFP as Endure continues to get aggressive.
Oh, but only 2 left alive now. Endure has to endure, but he's not able to. Chris is able to find yet another one. It's a clutch coming out from YFP. They get their second round.
I mean, what? I can't believe it. No, wait. Vision won that.
No!
Vision they got the defuse just barely.
What?
Oh.
Replay operator, show us now.
Oh
Do we
my
have a replay
goodness.
operator?
I have no idea,
Huh?
but
Because I saw it as Endure went down, it didn't look like it was even close to half.
I was with you. I was with you, Keg. I don't know how that came off, but YFP, they got yoinked, stolen, absolutely destroyed. Vision pull away around that should have been YFP Gaming's.
I have no words for that entire round. That was disheartening
Chaos?
again. Chaos. That was controlled chaos coming out from Vision's side, and we can only hope now that maybe they could recreate it again for us casters that are maybe a little slow to the draw when it comes to defuses here, that maybe they can do it again and give us a recreation. But given the scenario, given how much of a mid presence we see from these attackers, it's unlikely, and they're now 6 rounds behind.
Well, you say unlikely, but they are moving towards A. That being said, Val, now with that operator that's been thrown around a little bit, able to pick up the first frag. So, Omen, hey, it's fine. Can use the operator too. A lot of utility trying to dislodge Endure and Empathy from this position, but it's not quite enough. As now the curveball comes in, Lear there, almost case it down, but Maz is good. Has that first frag, and now Empathy able to pick up one, get a little bit aggressive, 30 HP. As Hilton finds one on the other side, able to take down the player, pushing onto the site, just leaving Apex now as Empathy finds Charisma otherwise on the site, and that is it. Empathy with a triple kill. You said, can they recreate the chaos? Well, it wasn't quite as chaotic, but it certainly felt that way.
That was a very good sequel, though, and they did such a serviceable job being able to take back A site again, whether it be through trees or through Heaven or even through A main. It seems like Vision just always knows what to do, at the very least on A site, but you gotta give it to solely Flya for B site. Already seeing them set themselves up again for these different kinds of mollies on the B door. I'm wondering if they're trying to telegraph what could very well be a rush this round.
Ooh, they do seem to have some information. Hot hands coming through. The jet
Like
dash
that?
is there, but Kyrie dying to endure. As now it's just a man disadvantage, and this push is canceled.
Oh, well, it was going to be a very big and aggressive push in the beginning, but it seems like they've been stifled out completely. Apex is able to find one at the very least to help break it up a little bit more, but they have to take that spike and get the heck out of there. It's not going to work on B. It might not even work on mid anymore now that Fly is in a great position. They can't rotate anywhere. And look at that, an attempted flank coming out from the Omen as well, going down A main, may be able to find some more bodies. They are like a rats in a cage, and Fly is able to make it even worse.
Oh man, that's just so devastating if you're YFP. I mean, listen, YFP is a team that I've seen play a lot, Keg. I really do like this squad. I'm a big fan of Charisma myself, maybe throwing some biases in there, but definitely has impressed me with some of their play elsewhere, but has just not been able to step up to the plate when most necessary today. And Vision just look like the better of these two squads at the moment. It's 9-1. There is guns back out for YFP, but what the heck do they do?
Take flight.
At this point, there's not a lot you can really do. You kind of have to hope for the best, that maybe defense will service you a little bit better. Maybe, but the artillery coming out from the attacking side is also not the best either. This could very well be their last full buy round that they can bring out this half if they can't win this one. Only one round under their name. Chris is able to get full control of B side, but even then, is it going to be enough? Having full control now, the attacking Killjoy is able to stifle away any sort of defenders for at least a few extra seconds, but that gives only enough time for the plan to go under. What about Empathy from the back? He's able to get one at least on the flank. That's going to be the Killjoy too, no less. And of course, the Hunter's Fury going to be coming out as well. Might be able to stifle off some from CT side. Is that going to be enough either? Well, you have to watch out for this gigantic flank coming through B main.
Well, they've cleared out all the corners. They know where all these players are. All four have to be dedicated to this site, and that's going to be the first. Empathy takes out Apex, and Hinton follows things on Empathy with a third now on the round as Val closes things up. It's just a shooting gallery right now for Vision as they do a 1-2 pop with the defuse as well.
Absolutely stellar gameplay. Now double digits. YFP, not so much double digits. It's only a matter of 3 rounds that divides whether or not Vision moves on into the group stage even more, or if we're gonna have to say goodbye to YFP.
Well, I think they have another game regardless. I'm fairly certain.
We'll say goodbye to them for now.
I'm sorry, I couldn't let it be. Oh, but yeah, YFP, they just are not looking as if they're able to make adjustments. They've kind of just been, this has just really been YFP deciding to hit a site. They haven't really changed what they're doing. You know, fast A, a fast B, and now a fast frag. Endure with the first, able to use that run it back to get aggressive. Curveball coming in, one outside is blinded, but misses the spray down. In fact, it's Kyrie who picks up that frag, so it's 1 for 1, all things considered. YFP in pretty strong position.
Smoking, blinding battlefield happening on through now. It's up to the rest of YFP to make their way through mid and may have a chance to go through CT, or maybe if they want to go through B on Marketplace, they very well could. But look at this here. These defenders are in prime positioning not only for flanks, but also to catch out a double pinch inside of CT. But it seems like that's not the way to go just yet. In fact, they're going to double back and go their way towards A. Yum, blinding out as much as he can. Might be able to hold it down, but look at one inside of A main. You have to watch out for that Killjoy. Seemingly unknown. To be the Molly's going down, having control as well. Yum has to push it single-handedly. The Sova's not too far away, but also their teammates as well. But they have no vision on the others. Apathy and Hilton are able to find some triple kill across the board for Vision's side. They might be able to collapse the game right here.
Collapse, they did, and win this game they shall. I believe Vision in strong position at 11-1 at the half. I mean, Vision walk in to that site. I mean, about as subtle as a hand grenade in a bowl of cereal. They just
wait a minute.
Walked in and demolished, exploded the entirety of that site, and it was over before it even began. So Vision, just 2 rounds to find here to pull off a victory. I have a feeling it might be short-lived for YFP.
If they can pull off one of the greatest defenses that the VSS can ever see, they might have a chance.
Well, you know, that's just a small bar.
Yeah, you know, it happens every week.
Right, just a little bit.
They gotta do it. Already, look at these attackers coming on through, pistols in hand, especially no less the frenzies as well. It's been a little bit of a debate whether or not the frenzies are still as viable as they used to be. Price went up only 100 credits, but even then, that really slashes down how many that we've seen in these opening engagements. With that being said and done, though, Epathy's going to be holding out on the top of A main, waiting for anyone to push on through, but while everyone else is transversing their way back on the B site. Epathy, though, pushing up, might be able to find the jetpack. It's immediately traded out.
That's a great trade there from Apex. Definitely gives information, but look, this has just been the full rotation. Everybody moving away. He's going out. Val does just that. The Killjoy does get back in time to pull out the utility and get some of that, deny some space, but still doesn't matter. Vision, they have the site, and it's 4-on-4.
Oh, Lord, look how tough this one's going to be. YFP almost have the spike denied, but it's going to go down on B main anyways. Only 2 bodies gone on each side. Vin, this is going to be tough. Endure having the pop flash in hand could blind out the entirety of the game in one single instance, but it's all going to be Vision. They're collapsing onto the site. You have to rely on Apex now, but they can't get through to the boats. That's going to be match point.
I mean, listen, it feels like this is the Titanic as those boats, the lifeboats are already down. They are not available. YFP cannot get out, and they're going to be sinking with this ship on ascent because Vision, they're just one round away from the full victory, 13-1 what it could be. Granted, a rifle purchase, or well, half rifle purchase here for YFP. They've purchased in a Bulldog, a couple of pistols, a Bucky, and some Stingers, but I mean, is that enough, Keg? Like, what can they even do with that sort of weaponry?
It's hard to say if that's going to be enough. Instances say probably yes. It could be enough if they want to play a little bit more aggressive, but with already Yum going down, you've lost the majority of your smokes. It's just going to rely now on the Jet. The Jet with the 4.5-second smokes, the only one to deny really much visibility on the defense now, stuck in a very terrible position. Are they going to force up here with a Bucky still? They have so much commitment to the rest of their team, but what could be their final round? Chris, though, has an option here. This could make or break the entire round for them. Smoke goes on through. It's not going to be theirs. Actually, no, it will be theirs. But pushing through, the Sova drone sees them out. It's going to be the immediate fray that comes on through. And a double kill from Apex, no less. But that's not going to stop everything just yet. 3 left alive on both sides. Mazza hiding away in the smokes. Able to not find the clone. It's going to be Apex with the triple instead. 2v2 now. Sheriff's in hand. Well, going to be running away, it seems. Going to make the mad dash to B. The Killjoy should be able to hear the audio and fish them out, but they have to be stealthy about it. If they want to go for the immediate refrag, they might find themselves in trouble, but they're still going to try anyways. Charisma barreling their way down on the B main. Might be able to find one, but they're going to get smoked instead. This is ample opportunity for the Omen to find some pop flashes, but no, unfortunately not able to find any damage whatsoever, but at least gives time for this Reyna to go for a full flank. Vin, this is a tough position to be in right now. All stuck like a fish in a barrel. Charisma's waiting for the Reyna to come on through as well. The recon bolt gonna go away, but can still spots Charisma. Even then, though, they don't know the Reyna's coming. Shock Dart's able to take some damage off of Charisma instead. They have to push on through. They know exactly where the last 2 are. Flashing out, though. Could be fish in a barrel for both sides or another. Is that going to be enough? Hilton finds Apex, but even then, only one left alive. It's Charisma. He might be able to find it. He has to push on through. Stingers in hand. Might be able to find one. Gets one. No, but it's traded out.
That immediate trade, Vision, just too strong. Able to play that out correctly. Don't want to get too aggressive, and using that paranoia to great effect. His Vision take things 13-1. I mean, and sure, we didn't see the same sort of crazy plays that we saw in the first game that we had today, Keg, but I mean, the domination was definitely there all the way around. Vision they just looked the better team, to be completely blunt about it. YFP maybe need to go back to the drawing board on that one, rethink their ascent, and maybe try and figure out what adjustments they can make, because it seemed like whenever they started losing rounds, they just floundered a little bit. They weren't quite sure what to do, and they weren't quite sure what adjustments to make, or even try once they got pushed back. And well, actually, a bit of a surprising MVP to me, because it didn't necessarily stand out in the kill feed all that much. Just kind of picked up the frags when necessary, and just did a solid job. Hilton 17-5. What a great scoreline.
Ooh, 17-5 is a fantastic one, Vin, and I'm so happy that the Sova was able to bring it on top. It's not always a duelist game. Hilton brought out so much last second recon that was necessary, brought out so much different damage here. but everyone on Vision's side did a really good job being able to hold it down as well. I mean, looking at the scoreboard here, we see Empathy 16 and 7, really not too far away, just to maybe one kill's worth of damage away from getting the MVP themselves.
Yeah, I mean a great just spread of frags there for the side of Vision. They really nobody really dropping the ball, and even Endure, who you could make an argument had a worse game. 6 and 7, like that's not a bad score line at all. Actually, just is the player who oftentimes has to be the aggressor, has to go in, has to be that entry. And that's kind of the Phoenix's job. So if you're not just playing out of your mind, oftentimes you're going to get one and done. You go in, you do your job, and you get out. That's exactly what we saw in Jor doing. So just really good stuff all the way around there for Vision.
It sounds a lot like us too. And speaking of which, we do have to get out for a little bit as well. We'll have to fine tune some things on our end, make sure the lobbies are ready for when we go into the next round of group stage. But don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.